Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your TV program, Tell Me About. Together, we will discover young talents and beautiful minds, gifted people who succeeded or who are still working in different fields, such as art, science, literature, innovation, and more. Today, we'll talk about tourism. I'm the one of those who say that age is just a number. You can be great, you can be successful at a very young age. And when opportunities don't come to you, you have to try to chase them. Remember that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a simple step. Dear viewers, today we're having with us two wonderful and young people who are working in tourism. Kenza, welcome to Channel 7.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
You're most welcome.
And Mohammed,
That's a great pleasure for me to be with you today, sir.
the pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much.
So, guys, how was your school career? I would like to say ladies first, but the youngest first, so let's say ladies first.
Okay. So, where to begin? First of all,
From the beginning.
From the beginning,
Yes.
yeah. So I had my baccalaureate degree in languages. I studied languages. After the same at the university, I studied translation
Yeah.
with the English and the Spanish too. Actually, I took English in the university as the third option for the translation. And after I finished my Spanish at the institute, at the Cervantes Institute,
Spanish Institute.
at the Spanish Institute, yeah. And after that, as I was, how to say it, as I was an inhabitant of the Casbah,
Yeah.
I've always been from the day I was born. It was like a passion for me to discover every alley, every aspect of of its history, every aspect of our traditions. I made it my job. Let's say that.
Yes.
I had that idea, that crazy idea at the beginning, to make people they had to know our traditions.
So you took what you love and you made it your job.
Yeah, we can say that. Yeah, we
That's
can say that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. Mohammed, and you're still a student, so
Yeah,
how did it all start? Tell us more about your school career, what you're studying.
sure. So, first of all, I'm the youngest tour guide in the Casbah.
Yes,
I've
ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, the youngest Casbah touristic guide,
in
and he's also an English speaker for the first time in Qanat Al Marifa.
Thank you so much, sir.
Go ahead.
And this started as a passion, as many people that we do have today. And it was since my childhood, I always wanted to learn language first, and then it jumped into being like tourism. But that wasn't my goal since the beginning. I was just wondering and trying to use my English with the foreigners who comes to Algeria before. But later it took me to start teaching them about some new information of the city and the history that we had in Algeria. So that's what made me made a lot of contacts with foreigners and non-Algerian tourists who comes to the Casbah and Algiers in general, and I take them around, and that's what made me like learn the language, gave me a lot of opportunities in Algeria as a young person. So like that was my life, and that was the love of my life that I wanted to do since I was young, and I'm proud to be a tour guide today.
You're a guide since 7 years.
Exactly.
You're,
I started
now you're
very-
like 20, 19?
I'm 19 now,
You're
almost
19?
gonna be 20, but I started doing this at age of 12.
Come on,
which
it's
means
very young. You're a
yeah,
genius.
exactly. That's what made a lot of people wonder about me and say if this person is really capable to do what he's doing. So that's what made people curious about me, and they tried as well to like come and explore me, like try to see what's this like phenomenon that we have in Algeria.
Yes.
And I was like, I didn't want to disappoint anybody. So that's what made me really do my job in the best way and made me look professional in their eyes, which is I'm very proud of this. And I want to thank everyone as well who gave me the chance since I was young, since I started doing this, and thank the ones who are watching these emissions about putting faith in us and giving us the opportunity, which it's not for a lot of young people nowadays.
Yes.
They have it, and that's what maybe made me like go and keep going in my passion and in this job.
You're also a university student. What do you study at the university?
I actually started after I got my baccalaureate. It was languages back, and then I jumped directly into human sciences,
Oh,
which
yeah.
it combined history and philosophy as well, and French and archaeology as well. That's all.
The main
contains-
goal is to understand human
Exact-
history, human behavior, understand
Exactly.
societies, cultures.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I love the most in my life, and like that's what I'm willing to do for the rest of it. So I've chosen to study this sciences.
You're
that-
still young and you know what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's
of course,
beautiful.
yeah. Because I've seen many Algerians and like our older pillars or idols, as I call them, Shuyukh Shabi or Shabi Sheikhs, our traditional music Shabi people who were born in the city Kasbah, and they are really from the Kasbah. But if you go and see their careers, it will give you an idea about what's waiting for you in this life. So that's what I've planned to do in my life, is to give always a very good image about our beloved city Kasaba or Jazair Banu Mzghanna,
Yes.
and to give a beautiful idea about the country in general, because actually what made people come and sit here and settle in this area of the world was because they knew that this country is good and it contains a forgiving God, and that's what was mentioned by our saint Abdurrahman, or Sidi Abdurrahman
Sidi
as we call
Abdurrahman,
him,
yes.
and we called the city of Algiers in his name. That's what made people come here.
And then Sidi Abdurrahman.
Exactly. They came in the past. If we go and look back deeper in our history, we will find out that many people has came from everywhere in Algeria to come to the capital or to the north and stay in the city where I live. And that was for a purpose. I mean, that was not by accident or something.
Yes. We'll
Like-
come back to history.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So, guys, when you started working as a touristic guide,
Yeah.
how was your beginnings? Was it easy? Did you struggle? Did you find help?
Well, we could say, I think that both of us had like difficulties at the
Difficult
beginning.
starts, yes.
Difficult start, very difficult start, because not everybody was and still accepting the fact of the tourism, accepting tourism in itself as
Yes.
and not everybody is accepting the fact that such young people, because I might not be as young as Mohammed
Yes, but
nowadays.
you're still young.
I started doing that job in 2009,
Yes.
and I was 19 at that age. And actually, I was the first woman guide in the Kasbah, and I was the first woman guide doing it in English. So we.
So
speaking
today,
about-
today we're having with us the youngest tourist guide and the first woman guide in Kasbah.
yes, we can
Yeah.
say that.
That's something that we should be proud of, I guess,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
as she said, not everyone believes in you in the beginning. Not everyone thinks and have the same thought as you. They don't see your goals, what you want to do in the beginning. So you will face anyway some difficulties or struggles, but you need to be already waiting for it and just keep fighting these difficulties,
Yeah.
not just give up and just do nothing. For me, I encourage people everyone in any job, in any passion in this world, to keep going, even though all the struggles, even though all the poverty or any what we can see today, haters in the community.
Yes.
So yeah, like just don't listen to this sort of people and just do what you like to do. And if you see that you can like provide something new or something interesting to your community, so just go and do it. So that's something that's going to help you a lot in your life and your career.
Did you get enough help and support from your elder fellows?
Actually, for me, I won't lie, that was the truth. Yeah, I had many people who helped me, and probably that's the thing that made me become what I am today, because I met some good people in this country who believed in helping me, and they saw good in me maybe. So they, for example, the American school here of Algeria, like when they first came to the Casbah and met me in there, they offered me to study in their school for free and for 5 years. And that's probably what gave me their like American accent and their culture and many of their tourists as well. So also guides who were older than me, like Kenza, for example, who like we share our job, and she used to send me a lot of tourists.
How did you meet, guys?
Actually, that's pretty.
Actually, I know her in the Casbah before in the city.
I want the truth.
It was neighbors, yeah. Like we were neighbors before, and like we know each other families. But
Yeah.
in our job, actually, we met the first time in 2016 when we used to start our tour from the high port of the Casbah,
High
or the
port, yeah.
high door of the city, and going down, not like today, which we do something different.
Yes.
And we start from the low part of the city.
Yes, we'll come to that.
I still start at the upper side, because for me to go down is better than to go up.
So you prefer going from up to down, she prefers going
From down.
down.
No, it's like actually
The contrary. I prefer to start from up to down.
Why?
Because, you know...
Give us details.
Details, yeah. Because me and you and Mohammed, we can go from down to up. But I was thinking about the much older person who can't
Yes.
do it. Who can do it. We can do it. Younger people can do it. Yeah. But elderly people, they can't do it.
They can't.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I'm still starting at the upper side of the Casbah in Bab Jdeid. That's it. Yeah. And actually, about the point where we met, actually we met.
That's very smart.
Yeah,
That's smart.
I know. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we met at the first when in 2016, I met him as a guide. And I knew his family and everything, but we had like a small detail. I don't know if I can say it, or yeah, because he was studying at that time at the high school with my brother,
Yeah,
with my younger
that's
brother,
true.
Yeah.
and that was.
She worked at the same school where I studied at. So
Yes.
that's a good chance.
I'm also a French tutor and an English tutor.
Did he
Yeah.
do something wrong?
No,
actually,
I know.
yeah, actually, we didn't study in the same class, but I was studying with like my brother. My brother also, that I say hi to, Aziz. We studied in the same class, but we had different teachers and different like sources of knowledge and information as well. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you prefer going from down to up?
Yeah, that's
Why?
actually that's what I changed and started doing since 2018, which we started having more fame, and people started knowing us more. So we needed a larger place and a more famous place or spot where we meet our customers.
Yes.
And at that time, it was something new about the Casbah and Algeria, which the Algerian government just finished the subway at that time.
Yes.
And made it easier for a lot of people to come and visit Algiers back then.
And recently there has been the renovation of
Innovation
the
in
Casbah.
it, exactly. So for me, I started giving them somewhere like very open.
A meeting spot.
Yeah, exactly. and also it will make my program during the tour larger, and I can show them more places and more like palaces or houses. And that's why I choose to start from the base Kasbah, or the lower part.
Guys,
Actually, that's the same spots we go to,
Yes.
but different ways.
Yeah.
Different ways.
Guys, we agree that the Kasbah is, let's say, a magic place,
Yeah.
a historical place,
Spiritual place.
spiritual place.
That's true, yeah.
Through history, many great historical names
Yeah.
came to Kasbah. Ziri, Zafira,
Zafira, many,
Queen,
many
Queen Zafira,
characters, yeah.
and in the last century, during the Algerian Revolution,
Yeah.
Ali Lapointe,
We had
Hasiba.
Yes.
It was very historical place.
it's still-
Yes, the Battle of Algiers, la bataille
the
d'Alger.
Battle
Yeah.
of Algiers.
Yes, the Battle of Algiers took place there. So, tell us everything about it, this beautiful place, the magic of that place.
Of course, yeah. So first of all, I'd like to introduce to Algeria first, or the city of Algiers, as it was called in the past, Adzair Banu Mzghanna, which is called this name, which it was given to it as a first name by Bouloughi
Bouloughi.
Ben Ziri Ben Minad al-Sanhaji, the first founder of the city. And then, like many people from all around the world, mostly from North Africa, they started coming up here and doing it as a trading post, or trading port to like sell their merchandise and buy merchandise, which we call it as a market in North Africa, and as it's famous with the door of Africa. So that's why it played a very important role during all the centuries, and for the civilizations, for the other civilizations to come here and settle. For example, the Phoenicians, who came and called Algiers, they built their own city and they called it by Icosium. And we had the Romans with their name Icosim, that means the island of seagulls, that they had nearby the city. We have
Speaking of which, the new discoveries, the
Yeah.
new ruins discovered at
exactly they
Castle
discovered in the
23.
At the
Yes.
metro, the
The-
subway.
the-
while
underground.
Algeria
Yeah.
was building the new subway, they discovered.
that was
The
something
historical
amazing.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
It's
was
very
something
new.
they didn't
So,
expect.
do you
City.
take tourists there? Do you tell
Actually,
them about that?
of course, yeah, we do, and this plays a very important.
Tell us about their reaction when they discover this beautiful place.
Actually, the first thing they have an impact on is the old buildings that they see first. And then when we start entering and telling them about all the secret tunnels and the underground city that we do really have in the Kasbah, they start being amazed, and they
if we go back in time, it started, let's say, in the antique period, in
Of
the
course,
Roman
yeah.
period.
Roman period, even the Turkish period, they used these underground
Phoenician
city
period.
and tunnels,
Yeah.
and until 1830 they used them, and they were still like open to people. Actually, by the way, they just found them like by chance when they were working on the subway.
Yes.
They even discovered some other graves and ruins,
Graves,
and why
yeah.
not? Let's say the treasure of Algiers that was hidden in the Kasbah before, but nobody knows where did it go. Let's say like it's all still hidden in this historical city.
Can you tell us more, Kenza, about these treasures and
The treasures. Okay, so about what was discovered on while doing the subway. So they found out that we had let's say that we have a whole city underground. Another city underground. We discovered a whole city, graves from the Icozim period, from the Roman period, and we discovered also remainings of the old Kasbah city. We had the old mosque, Saida, the old marketplace, and the old Dar al-Mal, the treasury. So, and all these things that were discovered over there, the people like always are amazed by these discoveries.
Yes.
Even if they are not coming, even if they are just passing by, they were like asking questions about these things. What are these jars? What are
And
these walls? or
do you tell them about Algeria local legends like Khdaouj Lamia?
Oh. Let's say
Yes,
that
that's an important
this
part of
part
the history,
actually, yeah. Let's say that this part is like my specialty because
Oh, yes.
I do
And the
personally, I
tourists,
do like
the foreign tourists, how do they react when you tell them those beautiful legends?
yeah they are at each time I like to
The legend of Sidi
to
Boulqdour.
give them to give a look to their eyes. They were like amazed. They were like, is this true? Is this real? Especially the legend of
Did it really
Al-Ma'akara.
Yes.
And we have like several legends. Sidi Boukdour, Khdaouj Lamia. We have a diversity, a very big diversity in our traditions, in our history, in our stories to tell.
The legend of Sidi Boulqdour started with the
Boulqdour.
invasion of Charles Quint.
Yeah, Charles
Exactly,
Quint, yeah, in 45, yeah.
Yeah.
In 1545, yeah, Charles
Yes.
Quint, where Charles Quint was trying to invade the city of Zair bin Mazghanna, and let's say that Sidi
With
Boukdour was
more than 700
700,
boats.
yeah, boats, yeah,
ships,
And these- and
shipments.
warships.
And this
Warships, yeah.
saint that you talked about, Sidi Boulqdour, or this good person who went to the port of
To the port,
Algiers,
yeah.
or to where we say Sablet today, and he prayed to God to protect this city first, and
Yeah.
then there was like some sort of
Some
big storm that
storm.
It was
that-
Al-Harrach, actually.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like some big storm and made Charles Quint lose his attack
fleet.
and
Entire fleet.
all his like empire or army.
Yes.
So that what caused him to be very mad and to just
He wasn't alone. He was with
Ex-
Spaniards, Italians,
Exactly.
and Germans.
They lost actually the whole fleet.
Yes.
The whole fleet.
And here where they say that this Charles Quint, Spanish king, threw his crown when he was here in Algiers and he saw that he failed in inventing Algeria. So he threw his crown and said that I won't wear any crown anymore because I couldn't do
Yeah.
this, couldn't take this city.
This
And
city.
That's why he
Yeah.
has no crown.
And the presidents of or the kings of Spain nowadays they don't wear
They don't
any,
wear any crown.
since our Algerian historians says that since that action happened, and we do, but these stories that we talk about, you can consider them more as legends,
Legends.
that
Yes.
that were even talked or
Or-
like
Legends
Or-
that became part of our history.
exactly, yeah. Because many our like elder grandparents, they still remember these things and they believe in their stories as well. Because in the Kasbah,
It's more than spiritual, it's mystical.
mystical, but that's what we call it,
Yes.
the spiritual like culture of the Algerians. Many of us, many of our grandmothers believes in this with a
Yes.
very strong faith. And what we call in Arabic like awliya, salihin. So to make it clear for everyone to understand, we had many people like this in Algiers, and the first of them, or the most important one, as the historians knows, that is Sidi Abdurrahman al-Tha'alibi, who came and settled in Algiers and said that this country is a very like good one, that nothing bad is going to happen to it after like centuries or centuries. People came here for him first and to learn from the knowledge he had from God. So that's why they came to the city, to the Kasbah, and started learning into his knowledge and studying what he wrote. We know that he made
Yes.
99 books. The last one is
Philosopher
called
and sociologue and
the last
philosopher.
one was the translation of the Quran, and like it was very useful for the Algerians, and that's why the Kasbah became famous. because
Earlier,
of him.
you told us that you collaborated with Americans.
Yeah.
Do you remind them that back in time they had to pay a tax?
Of
to
course,
pass?
yes.
Yes. Do you tell them?
Exactly, I
And
do.
how do they react?
But actually, that's like some part of the history that we
Yes.
can't ever hide, because the city of the Kasbah, or the old city of Algiers, was under the control of the pirates or the like thieves of the sea for
Corsairs.
4 centuries.
Yes.
And they settled in the city, so they have obliged their like enemies from Europe to pay taxes while passing by Algiers. Algiers,
Yes.
or marchandises if it takes them to, if they are not really rich enough. So we tell them always that they used to pass by Bab Zira in Sahchuhada, place of martyrs, and they pay their taxes, then they can allow them to pass by the Mediterranean. Otherwise, they will just send them the other Riyas al-Bahr, or the, as we call them, the presidents of the sea, or the thieves of the sea, like
Yes.
Rais
Yeah.
Hamidou,
Rais
Mourad
Hamidou,
Rayes,
Mourad Rayes.
Al Jarais. We do have we had many pirates here. So we'd like to give the right history to the people. And to be honest, sometimes like when I do have some European people, like they do have some like struggles with
With the history, yeah.
hearing the history of
Yes.
Algeria. But we'd like to say that that's our history that we are proud of, and we are trying to show to our children in the future.
Thank you, Mohammed. Kenza,
Yeah.
tell me, when you have foreigners, do you tell them about the local food, the traditional food, because it's a part of our beautiful culture? Do you take them to local restaurants? Do they love our local food?
Oh yes, speaking about food, all the Europeans, all the tourists that I had received are starting by that, starting speaking by
They
that.
start by food.
Yeah, starting
Okay.
speaking by that. Where are we going to have like dinner or lunch? What do you eat normally in here? Because you know all the foreigners or the European people are searching for the traditions. You see, so for example, I show them like. As we call them in our language, like gargote, you see,
Yes.
like small places where we eat beautifully eat. So,
Yes.
for example, we eat sardines, we eat fish, and
Chicken liver.
and so
Why not?
take a liver, take a liver.
Now
the-
most
the famous-
youth
yeah.
came and start
And-
asking about the liver.
About the
Yes,
liver,
for-
actually,
they
it's
come
the
special
most,
for
yeah,
it.
it's the most
What-
celebrated part of the Algerian, let's say, the Algerian food tradition is very rich. It's
Yes.
very, very rich. Actually,
Now
during
it
my
became
tours,
a great part of tourism.
yeah, during my tours, I go to the locals. I go in a special Casbah house
Yes.
where we go there. We're welcome there, and we eat like rishta, like tuwum, like shtat hajaj, all the dishes that made our culinary history in here, and all these not only the Europeans,
Yes.
only the Algerians too. The Algerians they want to eat
Explore
like
their food,
to
yeah.
explore, especially the liver. The liver is very well known these days,
And-
these years.
Tell me, please, I've been told about a project,
Yeah.
and it says that in the near future, they're planning discoveries, diving discoveries, to see the beautiful ruins under the sea.
Under the sea.
Yes, diving.
Diving, scuba
Yes.
diving, yeah.
Is
that's
it just
something
a
amazing.
project or?
Actually, for me, I'd like to say that the city of Algiers, or let's say all Algiers, isn't really most famous city with that, with scuba diving, or like going deeper and see the ruins that we have in underground.
Yes.
Under the sea, of all the boats that was drawn in there and seeking. But I would like to say that this is a very good idea that they should do in the future. But I've tried it somewhere else in Algeria.
I hope it comes true.
Yeah, in Tunis, or sorry, Delis, the oldest Casbah in
Casbah
Algeria,
Delis, yes.
and they do this there. Which is, I tried it and I really enjoyed my time in there, and
me
I
too.
advise many
Yeah.
people to go there and try it. It's very interesting, especially in summer.
Yeah,
But
Right.
it's a very magical, mystical experience.
Yes.
Yeah, very magical. I also did it in
A unique place in the
Delis.
world.
Yeah, I did it in Delis, and I also did it in our bay, in a port,
Bio,
at a
yeah,
port.
port
Yeah,
of
It's,
Algiers.
it's very
in Algiers.
interesting.
And in Tipaza too.
I like
Yeah.
the idea, but I won't do it. I'm scared.
You have to overcome your fear.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's magical. It's magical.
Guys, thank you for coming. Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
being with us.
Thank
Welcome,
you
sir.
for
It
Yeah.
was a really pleasure for me to
The
be with
pleasure
you
is mine.
today.
For the first
And
time here in an English-speaking talk
it
show,
is, yeah,
we have the
exactly.
first woman guide and the youngest
Sure,
guide.
So also what I like to say to people who are watching us today, that they are always welcome in our country, in our capital, Algiers, or the Kasaba as it's known, and don't just take like a wrong idea or image about it without visiting it. You need to come and see the hospitality of the people and the big history that this city is holding. And you're welcome anytime you want.
So, dear viewers, thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching us. And remember, if you want to travel somewhere, remember that your destination should not be a place, but a new way of experiencing life. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching us. See you soon.